we are walking up to the RV, and the first thing we want to look at is our entryway. A little bit of a shadow problem here. It's late in the day. Some of that's showing up, so hopefully that won't cause too much of a problem. So right here we have the entryway, and before I get into just some description of the entryway, I want to show you a still that I took at the entryway before it's done. So you can see that now. As you can see it on the steps right there, there were these gray treads that were glued down pretty darn well. They were pretty tough to get on. Of course, around the sides was all blue shag carpet stapled on with a few thousand staples as usual. So all that had to be tore out, all that had to be pulled off, and of course then I had to scrape off all the glue and everything, clean it up. You see it at the center step, and then around at the top there's like wood extensions on there. Those were all replaced because they were kind of beat up and stuff like that. So that's just kind of a look at the step prior to the work that I'd done to it while I had everything tore off. So I just want you to see that. So here we are back live now, so you can see the step again. A lot of that's just shadow work coming across because there's trees behind us and the sun's pretty low in the day. So I just want to show you a couple of things that I've done here. Okay, the first thing I want to show you as we look at is obviously the carpet here. This is that blue carpet. If you watch the video in the flooring one, you'll see where I talked about the blue carpet. Of course, what I showed you in that video was in gray. Of course, this is blue. So this went on pretty easy. All I had to do was, first thing, if you notice over here, I cut a template and created this template here out of paper, so I'd have a pretty good thing to cut with when I cut it around and made it all fit. And then I could just use the reverse over here, cut a couple of templates here. So that was pretty simple to do right there. This is all glued on. I used a Roberts glue, which is, if you go to Home Depot and buy this carpet, they have a glue. This carpet's actually meant to go down on like a patio, and they have an outdoor glue that you glue this stuff down with. And I just bought that and used the same glue. But the only thing that's really tricky here with this is that you just got to be careful. It's, you know, the glue's kind of messy and it's easy to get onto the carpet. So you just got to watch that. Of course, everything was cut to fit. Of course, it comes up under here, and what I did was I drove some staples up under here so I get a good, nice, clean fit while the glue dried all the way around. And that's about the only staples in it. There are no staples down in here or anything like this. This is all glued on. There's no staples in here. There are just a few staples up under here. And so on the tread itself, as you can see, I just continued the flooring. Use the same Allure flooring that's in the coach we'll talk about in a few minutes. Pretty simple to do. The only issue is you need to make sure you kind of cut it pretty tight right in here, because it just really, when you press it down and glue it in, it just presses into this carpet, and that's just what creates your clean look. There's nothing more to it than that. Of course, then we have, if I can get the camera to it, we have the, we talked about this, and this is the step stuff, the aluminum stair molding that we talked about in the video, if you saw that. Of course, these are all stainless steel screws. And so if we come up to the upper part and look at it, again, it's the same thing. We just have the same aluminum all the way around it using the screws. This piece right here, of course, was a little tricky because you're cutting inside corners here and inside corners here, so you got, you know, this has got to be pretty precise measurement so you get a real clean look right here. Other than that, it's pretty straightforward, and again, it's just put down with stainless steel screws. So the stepway turned out pretty nice. In this particular model, some RVs you see they have a battery under here. This particular model does not. They're in the back. There's nothing to this. There's just a wood framework here, then up under here is the actual step. I didn't speak to that too much. Turn it on. See if I throw the switch, if it'll, if I throw the switch, let's see if she'll jump out. There she goes. So that didn't, this is automatic. This is a quickie single step. I think it's called a van step. It did not work when I get it. I had to do quite a bit of work wiring wise on it. And if you can see right here, of course, this is the door sensor that senses the door open, and it opens it and closes it. So sandblasted all of that, refinished it, and then of course came across with the steps that, if I can think of the term for it, you know, the anti-slip tape across the top of it. So that works real nice. Now again, that did not work, and I had to do quite a bit of, most of it was in the grounding. If you ever have an issue with one of these steps, it seems like most of the issue is in the ground. And there's two things. That sensor was bad, which I picked up off eBay for about 10 bucks, and then it had grounding problems. So now it works great. So that's kind of a handy thing. It wasn't too significant. Didn't have to change much into it. So with that, let's just step on. Well, before we do, let's just, since we're right here and I can get pretty good light, you'll see right here, here's this molding that I installed that I talked about in the Flooring 1 video. Of course, it has tape on the back, tape on the bottom, and then it's got nails on it. And then, of course, I came back and glued it, came back and caulked it top and bottom with caulk, so it's kind of sealed real good. Now, this is the same, if I get a little closer look at it, that's the same shoe molding that's inside the entire RV. And again, that's just red oak stained to match everything, and then urethane. So with that, let's just take a walk on inside the RV. And hopefully, again, it's kind of late in the day, that you can see what we have here. I've got all the lights on in here, but it's still kind of dark. What you see here is Allure flooring. You can get it at Home Depot. Allure you can get at Home Depot. Lowe's has a different brand. In this particular case, it's Allure. It's a plank flooring. Of course, if you watch the Flooring 1 video, you'll see how I described that. Pretty simple to go in. The two things you see right here and right here. This particular model, if you look at it, is one of the most rarest of these type of RVs. It does not have a dining room. I've actually looked at 4 of these 97 Tiogas, 2 online and 2 in physical person, and every single one of them had a dinette in it. This particular model does not. It has 2 chairs here. Of course, if you look right over here, this has this right here folds up, and there's actually a large folding table that comes out and allows 2 people to dine here. Of course, there's legs here and here, and you can actually create a dinette out of the dining room. So it's kind of a nice feature in this RV, very unique. I've never seen another one of these Tiogas in this year range that has that. But a side note from the flooring. So again, we have the flooring. It's a plank flooring. Just about the only thing to note with the plank flooring in this RV, and I'm just going to spin around here and we'll just look back through it best we can with the shadowing, is that you either have to, when you apply it, you either start in the front left corner, okay, if you're sitting in the RV, you want to start in the front passenger side or the rear driver side. And that way it just has to do with how the strips lay down, the side that the glue's on, and all that stuff. So in this particular case, I started right here. Of course, that's the passenger seat. I started right here, worked my way across, and worked my way back. A couple interesting notes is that this RV is exactly 96 inches on the interior, wall to wall. So then this is 6-inch planking, so it fits perfectly. There's no cutting side to side. I can't remember the number. It's 13 or 14 planks across. And so it fits perfectly left to right. Now, one thing I did do, so I'm going to walk back here and spin around. Again, hopefully you won't get too dizzy. About right through here is about middle of the RV, 48 inches. Well, I snapped the chalk line 48 inches all the way down through this back to the bed. That way, as I came down through here, and then everything's pretty good up here in the front, because remember, there's no furniture. And then it was just, then as we come back through here, I've got that line to make sure everything lines up. So before we go any farther, I've got a whole bunch of still shots that I want to show you, just kind of give you an idea of what the floor looked like prior to the RV going in. And we'll just look at those now. Now, those cabinets you see sitting there are actually the back bedroom cabinets that I removed all those and moved them forward. So we've got some shots, you know, of those. Now here's the shot of the front area, of course, with all the furniture removed, the floored out, but everything. We've got some shots now here back through the bedroom, and then some shots from the bedroom back forward. So these are just some still photos I took that I just kind of give you an idea of what it looked like while we were in process doing the work. And so these, again, the real trick to this flooring is getting it really, really clean of nails and other staples and all of those type of stuff. So coming back live, we'll come back here. Again, a little bit of a lighting problem. Of course, here's the kitchen area right here. Of course, here's the doorway, the couch. As we go back through the hallway, the bright light you can see there's the shower. This has an external, this has a shower in the hallway. Of course, this right here is the refrigerator. This is a shower. Right behind the shower is a closet door. Then the bathroom door is right over there. So as we walk through it, again, it's kind of dark in here. It's getting late in the day. Of course, we walk in the master bedroom. So let's go ahead and just do that, and then I'll work my way back and show you. Not a lot you can see in here as far as the bedroom goes. Of course, it's just flooring, just wraps around. Nothing to it. And of course, then we just have the molding there. Interesting feature there. Of course, this comes with a little tiny headboard. I'll look at some of the features I improved on this later on. And I put a big poster headboard in it, which is kind of cool. That's all done in blue leather like vinyl. So that's all custom built. Just a side note as we come back. Of course, we come on back, and let me see if I can get some pictures of some stuff. Let's see, that doesn't come up too good, does it? Best I can see on mine. That is the closet. Not much to see. Just show where it continues on. Of course, we're working through the hallway here. I'm trying to see as much flooring. Let's see if the bathroom wants to have any looks. Let me flick some lights on in here. Of course, then there's the bathroom. Pretty simple. Just because I come down the hallway, I just made an extension. In this particular case, I just cut them to fit just all the way back through the commode. Talk about the bathroom some more when we look at some of the plumbing aspects of it. And then we just come on back in through here. So pretty straightforward, not a lot. Another thing to notice here, again, that's the same type of aluminum molding that we have in the stairway. Of course, it runs all the way across here, and that separates between the floor. Of course, I have an entire section on the cab which explains all this front flooring. But you'll see it's the front vinyl flooring here, and then this is, again, mainly I'm just looking at the coach flooring right now. Actually turned out quite beautiful. A very, very simple product to work with if you look at flooring one. The other thing I did was I applied some, there's a Allure polish, which is just a liquid polish you put down. I went with a non-gloss or the matte finish, so it just has more of a natural look. And it actually went in quite well. So that's a look of the flooring. Apologize for the lighting. It's, again, kind of late in the day here. Most of this videoing has to be done after work, so just want to let you see it the best I can. So and there's a look back out the stairway, and there's my shoes, as I don't try not to wear shoes in here now that it's all done. Now I did this floor in a day, not including the trim. I laid the floor probably in about 6 hours. It's very quick to do. As you watch video one where I talked about cutting it right inside the RV. Then I probably have got another 4 or 5 hours in the trim. And most of that's just cutting the trim to fit. That's it on the flooring. It's pretty straightforward to do. Take some time, and as I said in the previous video one, it's all in the old flooring. The new flooring is a piece of cake next to the new flooring. So with that, I hope to see you in our next video, and see you then.